hello. Hello, guys. Hello, welcome, welcome, one and all. Welcome. Hi, guys. How you guys doing? Hope you guys having a good day. Let me get my headphones before it starts not working, right? All right. Bonsoir tout le monde. Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Ça va. Hello to all of you. Share the live if you just joining on. Share the live right about now. Make sure you go ahead and share the live. And make sure that we have nothing to here for you this evening. I will try to keep up with you. It's like this is a moment to start listening to people, artists, whatever it is, especially speakers in Dominica. I, I, I always look into things, that's how I actually kind of think that happening. And they're not too soon with what's going on. And I mean, I couldn't help but see that two women have been doing, wonderful things when it relates to books and publishing of books. And today on the show, we have Callister Sango is going to be joining me. And we also have Grace Henderson joining me. So Grace is going to be joining in at about 7:30 thereabout. And Callister is coming up next. We're going to be talking to her. I want to say good evening to all those of you in social media land, those of you on YouTube, those of you on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and Facebook. Share the live. Make sure you share the live as soon as you come on. Go ahead and share the live, share the love. We want to get folks in on the information and let them know a little bit about these wonderful individuals who just recently published books. One of them actually has 3 books under their belt. 3. So yeah, I'm looking kind of cute tonight. I cut off my hair, guys. You see? I chopped it off. It's just here. It's gonna grow back. You know how it is already with me. Mostly, I'm lovely. All right. So we're gonna get started. If you're on the live, drop your flag. Let me know where you're hailing from, where you're connected from. I want to say a special good evening to the communities where the ladies come from. So we'll find out a little bit about their community, and I hope that their community is supporting them. And if they're not supporting them, we're gonna make sure that happens, right? So because we're gonna start by giving them the support that they rightfully do. I want to say a special good evening to those of you who are just logging on and you're wondering what's going on. We have a special show here this evening. So we're going to be featuring 2 women. That is Callister Sango and Grace Henderson, who have recently published books. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation, and I cannot wait to get into the convo with them. So they're standing by. Callister is standing by. Callister, she looks a little nervous, but we'll make sure we unnervous her tonight. I've been following Callister for quite some time, and I've noticed, she's been very innovative in so many different things. Years ago, she launched Agrivertise, I think it's called. I hope I pronounced it right, and if I don't, you correct me, but I think I did. Right, I pronounced it right, Callister? Agrivertise? Yes, I think close enough. And Agrivertise is a platform that she set up that would help folks to promote. It was a marketing platform to promote your agricultural produce, and I wish that a lot more was done with in terms of people supporting her. But we get to talk a little bit about why her platform has not blown up, because I felt nobody was doing it when Callister did. Nobody was doing this, like nobody. There was nobody doing it, not in Dominica, not across the Caribbean. Pierre Sympathetic Cafe. And she came out with this, and it makes you wonder: is it because she was a woman that it didn't take off? Is that one of the reasons? Is it because where she's from? Was it because of lack of support for resources? What was it that prevented her from this really taking off? And she's gone on to publish three books. So one is called Pink Agriculture. Then the other is a children's book, and then she also has another book that she published called "I Was Broke Because." I was broke because. So let's welcome the very first time on the show. Make sure y'all share the live and show support to those women. Eh? Pack my fashion fella. Bon, when all you come on, share the live and support these women. Right? If you don't want to support me, that's okay. Support them. Support these women tonight because we want to make sure that a lot of folks hear about their books and people can support them and purchase their books. All right? Show your support and share the live. All right? So I'm gonna welcome for the first time to the show. I want to say a special good evening to Callister who's joining me. Hi, Callister.
Hi, Jael. How are
How are
you?
you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little bit nervous, as you said, but I'm
I,
okay.
I saw that. I saw that. I see you will be Shane in the in the lobby. It's good to have you here on the show with me. Thank you very much for coming on and sharing with us. Carissa, first of all, tell me a little bit about you. Where are you from? In terms of like where are you from in Dominica? Tell me a little bit of who is Callister Sango? Like, tell me a little bit about you.
Well, like you said, my name is Callister Sango. I should be roughly about 6 feet tall. I'm a tall girl.
Ooh, you're a real tall girl. You're a real tall girl. I'm
And
amazing next to you.
what else can I say? I have always been somebody who liked to carve my own path. I think that's how most people would know me, always trying something new, doing something new. Um, Yeah, so I'm originally from Penville, for those of you who don't know. Um, I
Not
have a little
in the
boy.
house. Where the
I have
northerners?
I have a little boy. His name is Kai. My children's book, which we will talk about further, is featuring him. So all the pictures throughout the book is his face, his actual photos. So his animated photos. So yeah, that's pretty much this about me. I went to Penville Primary, Portsmouth Secondary, Dominica State College, where I did agriculture.
Well, so your books, you have three books under your belt, and people might say, well, you did one, you did another, like you just keep writing books. Why do you feel it's so necessary to write books, on your life, or even on your child, like a children's book, and on agriculture?
Well, I think different things inspired each of them. Like you stated in the beginning, Agrivertise was my first venture. And while I was doing Agrivertise, I had the opportunity to deal with a lot of different people who were actively involved or who still are actively involved in agriculture. And I understood a lot about, some of the challenges that they face, some of the challenges that I faced while trying to be the middleman between the buyers and the sellers. So it helped me to put together something that would help me and also help the people that I am dealing with um, to better conduct business, if I should say.
Hmm.
So
So what did you do? What were some of the things you had to do to get yourself ready to create your first book?
I think, sometimes you just reach at a point where you are forced to do something that would change your situation or change your mindset. So it's like I reached to a point where things wasn't happening the way that I wanted it to happen. So it's almost like a business plan, but I
Mm.
had to do it for myself and for the people as well, because I wasn't only creating business for myself, I was dependent on two sets of people, buyers and sellers. So I had to think of a way to connect the two parties to make everything work smoothly. And I think that's pretty much what I talk about in my book. I have a copy right there of that's what pink agriculture. So it's one of the the first copies that I created. So it pretty much talks about starting a business, because one of the things that I realized, again, pink agriculture is merged closely with agrivoltaics. So one of the things I realized was that a lot of people were not doing farming or agriculture on a business level, and that can be a problem sometimes. Um,
When you say on a business level, what do you mean? What do you mean on a business?
it's
Because
like
people will say, "Well, I go to the market, so none of no business I do in now. I go in
mhm,
markets, I sell in my I make I grow my produce. I go to the market, I sell it." What do you mean when you say on a business level? Because there's a difference between just going to the market and actually conducting or running your agricultural produce as a business.
right. One of the things that I noticed, a lot of people, well, in a business, you have to take it serious. And one of the things that I noticed, a lot of people, it's like when it comes to reliability, even the quantity that they produce, you want to be reliable. So if you producing vegetables, then I know, hey, I know this farmer always has sizzling peppers, so that's my farmer. So that comes with a particular mindset. It doesn't come with somebody that just want to plant sizzling peppers on Monday and Tuesday they want to plant lettuce. So it's like, you don't really know who to target for what, or who to
Mm-hmm.
help with what. So that is one of the things that I realize with the business. And another thing, sometimes even the pricing can be troublesome. When people do business, usually they have their income, their expenditure, those type of things. But with the people that I was dealing with, a lot of them, when they say you do things too short to flam, like you just do
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you will see people and they want to sell cucumbers, but they want to sell it like just put three cucumbers there and say, okay, that is $5. And you were not able to really measure whether you were making a profit or a loss, because anything goes. So those are some of the things I talk about in pink agriculture. um and a lot of other stuff as it relates to the product appearance and the arrangement of your product, something that I had to learn the hard way as well, because your presentation is important. And a lot of times you see like farmers in particular, their work is dirty work, if I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So but you cannot present yourself as somebody that always,
Dirty.
you understand, even if you
Yes, yes, you cannot be in the market and your clothes looking worse than dirt.
right, right.
Right?
So sometimes you have to think on those levels. You have different classes of people. We have people that are more sophisticated than others. I might be somebody that really don't care about how you look. I might just come and take my thing and go. But somebody else might say, end up buying that ginger from that person just because of how you look. So those are some of the things that I spoke about in my book. Sometimes even the arrangement on the table, sometimes you will pass and you will see some vendors and their stuff is clean, it's nice, well packaged on a table, so you feel like picking that up. But you have
Mhm.
some people and how they take it, that's how they put it, and everything jumble up on a table and nothing, it's not appealing. So
Mhm.
to the naked eye, if I should say. But those are, those are some of the things that I spoke about in my book, and a lot of other stuff as it relates to
Ho-
branding and so
How,
on.
how long did it take you to put together for example pink agriculture?
Pink agriculture was a little more difficult to put together because it was my first book. Um Anything that you do for your first time will definitely require more effort. And yeah, I think it took me more than a year plus of
Wow.
consistently being at it. In the beginning, it was, well, that that is one you can see it looking kind of
Beat up. It will beat up.
well, that's one of my books. In the beginning, the title was actually the Agrifesto. So I merged the word agriculture with manifesto, and I called it the Agrifesto, right? But this
Mhm.
book was a little bit bigger because it had like like how you have a workbook in primary school, like you have
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's how it is. So after each chapter, it had a little exercise for you to do as it relates to your individual business. So it was a
Mhm.
little bit bigger than this one right there, which is the
So
review
this,
book.
so you're saying that you started with Agrifesto,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you decided you were ready to publish, it became Pink Agriculture. That's what you're saying, right?
Well, I dealt with a few people to help me edit the book, professionals. And
Okay.
one of the things that they pointed out was the title. A lot of people might not really understand what it is about, so try to be more specific. So when somebody look at it, they know exactly it's about something in particular. So I tried to change the title a little bit. I changed it to Pink Agriculture. A lot of people still tend to ask me, Callister, why pink agriculture? So right now I'm actually thinking about it because it's not the word pink. A lot of people
I
think.
like the name though. I like, you know why I like the name? I'm gonna tell you why I like the name.
Mm-hmm,
Um, I think it appeals to a lot. First of all, it's written by a woman, and
mm-hmm,
people tend to associate pink with a level of
women.
with women, right? More than likely, women will pick up your book over men. Women tend to be more readers than men. So when you hear pink, you're like, does that, what does that refer to, what, how? And then you see it's a woman on the cover. I like the name. I personally like the name. I don't know about you guys out there who are viewing. Give us your feedback. Let us know if you absolutely like the name. But I like the name. I would probably look at uh probably changing up the cover a bit, but I love the name. And I don't think you need to keep redoing it. I think you just need to get a really great cover page, like a really great cover. I believe in your content. I mean, when people hear Penville, they know you're not talking shite when it comes to agriculture, because it's one of the places in Dominica where agriculture is always in abundance in terms of how people that's what how most people make their lively, or have that most people's livelihoods in
Right,
Penville, right? So
right.
it's really cool that to hear that you came to, like, you decided, hey, these are certain things that I've learned, these are certain struggles that I've had putting together agrivertise and dealing with customers for agrivertise, and I want to put it in a book so that I can help others. So first of all, you get a big check mark for me for wanting to help others, because a lot of times we learn the things and we don't want to teach nobody. We don't want nobody else to know, and I feel like you're opening a pathway for other people who don't know, or you might be just starting up. And how long ago you started agrivertise? So let's just get people to understand, because I know you've been at this for a very long time.
Um, it's been a long time, Jael. Let's just say it's over 5 years.
Wow. Wow. And you've been at it. I know I've seen you hustle. I know of customers that you've interacted with. I know I've seen, and I want to encourage you, to keep at it. You're an intelligent woman. You love agriculture now. You like to write and all of that. You an author. You have an author. You also have a website as well. So let's just get people to understand that I
You can hear me now. Sorry about that.
about I was broke because.
Can you repeat your question, please?
I wanted to find out a little bit about what made you want to write I was broke because.
Okay, well, this one is more personal. It has a lot to do with personal experiences. Sometimes our decision making can affect a lot. And as young people, sometimes we move in ways that we don't listen to advice from people who have done it before us. We don't listen to people who made the mistakes before us, and we tend to just walk with our eyes closed. And that's one of the things that I realized, that I was making some terrible mistakes, that I think a lot of young people make. I have also a copy of my book here. I was broke because, not the official copy, but that's just a copy for now. So it talks about me being too comfortable. So sometimes you need to step out. Yeah, so this is it right there. Sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone, um so that you can get things going, So in the first chapter, I was too comfortable. I talked about sometimes I would say, what, I don't need to travel. I don't need to go to the Caribbean. I can stay here in Dominica. But is that really what I want, or am I just comforting myself in the fact that I don't have enough money to go where I want? You
Mhm.
understand? So I
Mhm.
think that's what a lot of us do. Sometimes we say, what, I don't need to match my shoes with my belt or whatever. But maybe it's just you just don't have enough money to do that. So I think
Mhm.
it's in a sense, it's kind of like comforting yourself so that you don't push yourself to your full potential. So that's one of
Mhm.
the things that I mentioned, and a lot of very important other factors. So the second one here says, I was waiting for opportunities to come to me, which is another thing. I mean, I am somebody, I create my own opportunities, but in life we are all interdependent, if I should say. We need each other. So in as
Mhm.
much as I want to create my own
Path.
opportunities,
Mhm.
I realized that, hey, Callister, you want to build agrivoltaics, but you need the farmers. So you cannot stand on your own. You cannot wait for the farmers to come to you. There's going to be a time when you have to go to the garden to find them. So that's one of the things that I realized, that sometimes we as young people, we just sit and wait for things and people to come to us, and that can be a problem, especially when you were not born with that silver spoon, that golden spoon. What color spoon is it? Wait. But yeah, and another thing, there's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. So sometimes the people that you associate yourself with can have a part to play in how much you fly. Um
Mhm.
so that's one of the things I notice. If you're always around people that are gloomy, people that are sad, people with no ambition, no vision to move forward, that's where you're going to stay, believe it or not. And for
Mhm.
you to get out of that, you have to have extra, that kind of engine they maybe had in the submarine they sent down by the Titanic. You need to you need to have some extra power for you to be around people who don't have that ambition, and for you to come out successful, you need a lot of strength to do that, and a lot of other things I mentioned. I wanted to work for myself. So it's simple things. It sounds simple, but I suspect a lot of young people go through that. In as much as you want to be your own boss, which I think a lot of young people want to be, sometimes you just need to humble yourself a little bit and go under somebody still until you establish
You
yourself.
can build yourself until you can build
Right,
yourself, and you
right.
can also learn. You can also learn from someone else, even if you want to always be your own boss. And I've experienced that. I
Mm-hmm.
from early on in my life, I experienced, I always wanted to have my own. Like, I never wanted to work for people, right?
Right.
I always used to say I'm an entrepreneur, not an employee. Right. But because you have that mentality doesn't mean that you cannot learn from others, or you should not learn from others. And it's always good to
Exactly.
get into an
Right, right, right. This is something that I learned the hard way, yeah. And another thing, I was too focused on potential. So yeah, so sometimes you say, okay, this is what I am capable of. So you don't live in the now, you live in the future. And I think
Mhm.
that is a problem that a lot of young people make too. You cannot just live your life based on, hey, I wrote 3 books and I know I'm going to be a millionaire one day. No, I mean, come on. There's a possibility, but what is your current position? No.
No.
And this is one of the things. I mean, sometimes when you see where you're heading, you can miss what is happening in the now. So yeah, those are some of the things, and a lot of other important, very very important. I must say I'm a good writer. So anybody that pick up that book will realize it came from somebody who knows what she's talking about, who knows what she's writing about. Another thing,
Hmm.
sometimes I was picking and choosing money. I think a lot of people in my life told me, "Too money don't fight," or it's money. So wherever you get it, you have to try to grab onto it. You cannot say,
Hmm.
"Okay, but I'm not going by road and clean and you there." So it's better to make $5 than to make none at all.
Not at all.
And those are some of the things that I noticed. I mean, I could list all my points, but maybe you guys need to
No,
get
they
the
need to get the book. They need to get the book. They need to get the book.
like you did.
So where can folks, because you also have a children's book which we'll
Right.
talk about briefly, but before we get into where can folks get the book or get your books, or how can they reach out to you, um what are some of the challenges that you face, Callister?
Well, in terms of my book, well, most of us who try stuff usually have a lack of resources, lack of finance. So, in as much as it is very easy for me to take my book and take my pen and write my stuff. But when it's time to get it out there, it's a different thing because hey, I don't have a printer of my own. So then I'm dependent on somebody to print the large quantity for me. So this is one of the challenges of course. So when it comes to printing in bulk, it's like they want to charge me my arm and my leg.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So this is definitely a challenge. I was really expecting it to be less. Um, for I mean to start off, I thought it would have been less money, but it's a lot, I must say. And when you look at it, you sometimes you end up paying the person who prints the book more than you yourself
You
getting for
making.
yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely one of the challenges when it comes to printing a lot. It's a lot to print a lot. Although they say when you print a lot, you get
You
it
get
cheaper.
get it cheaper. Yes, yes.
Sale. So I don't know
Wow.
the math isn't mathing, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I guess one day I maybe would find based on the quantity that I want to print. I really do believe that I need help. Um, Other than that, I will keep doing it on a print on demand basis.
You also have offer digital copies of it, right? So you do
Yes,
offer
I
digital.
do.
Okay.
Yes, I
So
do.
your book is available in print form. Is it can they get it if somebody in Dominica is looking right now and they want to get a book? Can they go to Jay's bookstore and pick up one of your books, or would they have to contact you to get access to your books?
Well, right now you have to contact me directly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so my name is actually Callister Sango all over the internet. So if you guys want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me. But both for the hard copies, you will need to contact me directly for
I
now.
want to encourage you after after the show ends, Kalisa, to go in
Mhm.
the chat and just leave your contact information in the chat underneath the video so
Okay.
folks can see it and they can reach out to you. So just go in the chat and comment underneath it. I know you always watch my shows. I always see you on there, and so I know you could just hop on in the chat and make sure you put in your information. I really want to encourage you. I know you're an intelligent young woman. It's unfortunate that the resources are not there, are not readily available to you. For and I hope somebody listening out there can say, who probably have some, they probably have a golden spoon that they were born with, and they may be able to help you, to reach out
Mhm.
to you and help you, because I really do feel like you've put your passion and you're all into these books, and the world needs to see it. It needs to get available online, in terms of like Amazon and these different things, different outlets, as well as in bookstores. Bookstores not just in Dominica, but in the other Caribbean islands where they practice agriculture. I think print
Mhm.
agriculture can be valuable to many people. You also have a book called Kai and the Pizza Cloudman, and that is something you wrote that was inspired by your son. Tell us briefly about Kai and the Pizza Cloudman.
Well, this is a fictional, if I should say. It's not real. It is something that I created. Kind of Pizza Cloud Man. Just a simple book for maybe 3 to 7, 8, 9 years old. Yeah, so children in grade K, grade one, maybe up to grade two. It was very simple. My son himself is about 5 years old, so
Hmm.
everything revolves around that age range.
Hmm.
So it's a very nice book. I read. I was invited to the Roseau Primary School to present the book, and I think the students loved it. Um, a lot of them would meet me and say, "Oh, you, that is that right, Kai book, kind of pizza club man,"
Oh,
and
that's
you know
so
how the
cool.
children talk. So yeah, so I think it has been very very effective. It stay in the children head just like you would have Little Red Riding Hood and those type of the Three Little Pigs. So I feel like this book, once a child reads it, it will stay in their head. And at the end of it, there's a simple exercise again for the age range that children can do. Very bright colored, highly colored, featuring my son in different ways. So
I
it's
love, I love, I love the fact that you put his face on there. So and it, so it appeals, because what we lack a lot of, because we've been, I know, like growing up, a lot of the books I read didn't have anybody that looked like me on the cover. Right? It was
mm,
always one of my very, very most favorite books was The Little Princess. And like I love that book, and I could probably recite it word for word for you today if you ask me. And didn't have people that looked like me on the cover. And it's good to know that, you know,
mhm,
you've put somebody that looks just like our everyday Dominican little boy, and they can relate. The name is fun. And kids can love it, and I hope more schools invite you to come, and parents actually purchase the books, and they have it available for their kids. I'm so happy to have had you on the show, at Callister, and I wish you all the best with
mhm,
your sale of your books. I want to encourage folks to support you. You're a hustler. Like every time I see you, always on the hustle, and you've created so many different paths for yourself. Like you're literally doing it
mhm,
with little to no resources whatsoever. You've carved your own path, and I hope
yeah.
somebody out there that's looking can say, "Hey, I want to invest in Callister's brand, even if it's agrivertise or any of the books, to help you, even to publish it to a larger audience." I truly
Mhm.
appreciate you taking the time out to come on my show.
Thank you, Jael. Just one comment before you
Go
leave.
ahead. Go ahead.
My book, the first one, Pink Agriculture, it has actually been recommended for schools. A few people that read it told me that it can be used in schools. So I'm hoping that one day, yeah, I feel like it has that potential. My books are great. I mean, I have potential, Jail. I just feel like maybe like as you start me off, somebody else will see me and help me fly away. But I feel like I've done pretty much what I had to do. Yeah, so that's just a comment that I wanted to make, that my book Pink Agriculture is very much something that should be on the book list of students for the upcoming school year, you know?
Put that out into the air. Put it out into the air. I love it. I love it. I love it. It was great hanging out with you, Callister. Thank you again for always supporting my show. I always see you on the live. You always share my links, and I'm all about supporting those that support me. I'm all about the supporting for supporting them. And people that think I doesn't watch, but I watching. I always watching. Tell them I'm always watching. My father used to say, what he used to say, ever ready or always willing, always able, ever ready. He had a saying. Well, that is me. Same way. Same
Mhm.
way. Right. So thank you very much for coming out on the show to hang out with me. Okay.
Have a blessed day, Jill.
You too. Take care. Bye bye. All right, guys. We just heard from Callister Pink Agriculture. It was so great having her. Let me just put her book inside here, guys. To get the book. There's Pink Agriculture. There's also I Was Broke Because. And there was also Kai and the Pizza Cloudman. And that is, they were all written by Callister Sango, the young lady out of the North, Penville Massive. We want you guys show your support to her, encouraging Callister to go in the chat and just put her information, her contact number. So if people want to purchase, if people want to even reach out to her, somebody watching might want to invest in her business. I think she's an intelligent young woman, and she's just out looking for her shot. She's just looking for her shot, right? We're moving on. We're moving ahead. We have Grace. Grace is coming up next, and I'm so excited to have her join me here on the show. Those of you on the live, if you have any questions, feel free to drop. I know you guys are staying quiet tonight. I see you guys on. You're very quiet, but feel free to drop a comment. Oh, sorry, my thing was not in comment mode. Right, my thing was not in comment mode. Sorry, my I was wondering, why am I not getting the comments? My comments were turned off. Sorry, guys. Okay, Glenda is here. Joanne, Leanne, I'm late, but I know. Go purchase the book, guys. Thank you very much, Leanne, for showing support to Callister. We have Clefa. Clefa say Jael mwen la. Udes is there. I'm proud of you, my dear. That's what Udes is saying. Very proud of my village doing wonders. That's from Clefa. Have you reached out to Quick Print? Is what Bev is suggesting. Sunshine is saying good night. I don't know why my comment was turned off. I don't know. Probably the bleach gets into my brain. I wasn't operating right tonight. My apologies, guys. I need a number. I need as a guest on every black something. Okay, I'm not understanding that. Callister is going to drop her information in the chat, guys, and you'll be able to get her contact. And I'll also encourage her, if anybody asks questions, that she could go on there and also answer their question. I love the name. I love the names of her books. And I want to encourage all of you to, if you've not supported her yet, to go ahead and show support. All right. We got Grace coming up next. Grace is somebody that I've met kind of by default. I met her through her dad. I met her, but then I met her dad, and then I realized who she was and who was her dad, and it just became one big thing. And Grace has just launched a book called Niniput's Beginner's Guide, and Grace is coming up next. But before she comes on, I want to show you guys a little video. Before she comes on, let me just get my little video for if you guys know this person. Let me tell you, I listen to this and I frighten all kinds of frighten. You know why I frighten all kinds of frighten? Because the person on the video sounds so much like Felix Henderson, and it's actually his son. And I want you guys to take a listen to this. Let me just grab the video. I'm just grabbing the video. All right, take a listen to this. There you go.
Alright, afternoon, Domniche. Come ye forward, ye sons and daughters, from this beautiful island, the nature isle of the Caribbean. Oh, my finger, full of splendor and much to offer. We are calling you the people from the north to the south, from the east to the west, the highways and the byways, the nooks and the crannies, from Capuchin to Kashaku. We are calling a large contingent to witness the unveiling of the book. What book, my friends? The Niniput Beginner's Guide, the brainchild of Grace Commander Henderson, a cruel book to guide you to ensure that this culture, so rich and unique, shall remain forevermore. What a wonderful fool, inspired by none other than the maestro, the great advertiser, the radio professional, Felix Henderson. Merci Bautier, gone but not forgotten. Always remember that nobody beats the starring. Take it away now.
Oh my God, this just like, let me tell you, I listened to this like a few times and I could not help. If anybody of you know Felix Henderson, if you've ever listened to a Felix Henderson ad, you would swear this was him again, because this is his son. And This was recently done, so it's not Felix Henderson, and I mean, it's so amazing that somebody can sing so much like he sounds so much like his father, and he, he's doing the little ad for his sister to promote her book, Nini Put's Beginner's Guide. So I want to welcome for the first time here on the show. I want to welcome the daughter of Felix Henderson, Grace Henderson. Hi, Grace.
Hi, Jael. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
It's so nice to have you on the show.
It's nice to be here, and I thank God for the opportunity to be here with you. I'm very excited to talk about my book and my dad, and I'm just happy to be here.
Wow. First of all, Grace, tell me a little bit about you. Where are you from in Dominica? Like, where are you? Like, where can somebody? Because I like to pinpoint places. Where are you from in Dominica?
I grew up until 6 years in Goodwill, and then we moved to Wallows, my family. But right now, I live at Orton Wivens.
Okay. And tell me what inspired your book, Nini Poet's Beginner's Guide.
Well, actually, it was sometime in 2021, about December thereabout. My sister and I were trying to figure out what could we do to are you hearing me, Jael?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Yes.
Okay. What could we do to honor my father? And she
Mhm.
came up with that idea, a Creole book. That was my sister Michelle. She told me about a Creole book, a coloring book for children. And me being an educator, I just put everything together because I'm a teacher as well. So I just started putting the book together bit by bit, and then it became this.
First of all, can you speak Creole, Grace?
I can understand, and right now I'm in the basic. Well, I'm not ashamed though because
That's
my
good, though.
dad,
I love it.
although he was from Grande, he didn't speak Creole. He spoke English. He only started speaking Creole when he was at the age of 20. He was at DBS. That was his first time at DBS. And then the guy they had doing the Creole program could not do it so fluent. And my dad picked it up, although he couldn't speak Creole. And he learned it over time until he was like reading an English paper but saying it in Creole.
Wow. Wow. I mean, he was an amazing individual. All of us any one of us who came across Felix Henderson knew how wonderful he was.
Mm,
I worked with him for a few years as an ambassador on the A
mm,
team, and he was so wonderful. He was one of my favorite persons to work with. I enjoyed doing commercials with him. I enjoyed doing promotions with him, and he was just a really nice person to work with. And it was a great loss to Dominica when he passed away.
mm,
And one of the things that also, one of the things that kind of irked me about his passing is the fact that his ads will continue to run on air, and his children will
That,
not benefit from it,
yeah, that's sad.
because
Very sad.
at the time, and a huge part has to do with not being informed. So at the time, when he created all of his wonderful work, and we have so many slangs like "nafternoon" and "oh my finger," and he stopped saying "oh my finger" for a little while, and like all of these little things that he would say, all these little slangs that he would use, um it will stay, it will remain with all of us, because it's something that
Forever.
we'll never forget. and
Yeah.
and to know now that you've come out with this book, and I remember, and I don't want to call names, but I remember one particular person that he taught Creole, and she was determined to learn Creole. And every Tuesday, he had a meeting with her, and he would teach her Creole. And to hear this woman speak Creole today, I'm just like, Like, because I know that I'm just like, well, Felix Henderson not teaching Creole, like, because she couldn't understand anything, growing up in a household that didn't really speak Creole. Grace, besides wanting to create something for in terms of a legacy for your dad, um, what are some of the other things that you hope that Niniput Beginner's Guide will achieve?
Well, for years, Daddy wanted Creole to be in the schools, and on his dying bed, that was one of his wishes to our Minister of Education, and they are willing to take it up. So that is something that I brought to their attention, the book, so they
Hmm.
could take it up and have it in schools because for years he was behind it because we teach French, we teach Spanish, and our mother tongue is left behind. And knowing that where Creole came from, mostly older people speak the language, right? And it's like they saw it as an old people's language.
Hmm.
So that the opportunity of being on the BS radio to make the language seem more presentable to the nation. So he used it in his ads, in his witty ads. He used it in his programs. He used it in his interviews with fishermen, and that is something else that he was so unique in who he would target. Because normally you are a news person or radio person going to interview the Minister of Education, who interviews the teacher,
Hmm.
or you have somebody, Minister of Fishing, I'm just throwing it out there, who
Hmm.
interviews the fisher. So he would go down to the right down below to the
The average
the
man,
people
the
of
average man
yeah,
could relate to him. Yeah.
the
And
average man
he just made it
to
very
find out.
comfortable. He just made it very comfortable
Yes,
to speak to him. Yeah.
yes.
So Grace, how long did it take you to write Nini Put's Beginner's Guide?
Well, it took about a year to do that. Um, a lot of back and first of all, it was kind of my sister told me about the idea, but it was kind of bittersweet for me because we had just lost our father, and to go into a book every time you see in Felix Henderson or Cray, it was kind of bittersweet for me to start it.
Hmm.
And then eventually I just started doing it, going into it every day by day, add a piece, delete a piece, fix a piece. And then I got help from people like Kiwana Fontaine and Gregory Roberts and Raymond Lawrence and Sonia Akpa in Keck. They also helped me to, it was back and forth, errors, checking, editing, so forth. So it took about a year to do that.
Well, wow. Did you come across any challenges while you were putting together the book, or was it just, besides the fact that it was difficult having to, relive your dad's life, so to speak, while you were putting it together?
Well, yeah, I had a few challenges like the face, the cover. I had one person do it and another person do it and another person do it. So until I got what I wanted, because I wanted Daddy and Nini put on the cover page, and then I just wasn't getting the person to draw Daddy how I wanted it to be. But then I got it after 3 tries,
Three
and
attempts.
I got
Uh-huh.
the attempts, yes, and I got it how I wanted it to be.
Wow. Tell me a little bit briefly, without spilling all the deets of the book. What is Niniput's beginner's guide? What does it comprise? Besides, is it like, is it curl in the simplest of forms, or what exactly is it?
It is Creole in its simplest form so that children can understand. At first, it was supposed to be like just a coloring book, but then I brought it out where children could learn the alphabet in Creole. There are 32 letters in the Creole alphabet, and then the sounds, the like avion is aeroplane,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you have the picture to
Mm-hmm.
show the plane and the wording. So
Mm-hmm.
it would show you the picture. The children could look at the picture, and then like this one there is Jay-Z,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Jay-Z,
So
yes,
just
yes. Mm-hmm.
color the picture and learn the word, and then you have we have verbs where you talk about dormi, dormi is to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
marche is to walk, kui is to run. Then you have a puzzle in there looking for Creole words, finding the meanings, numbers, simple sentences. I also had the because every year when my dad was alive, I would invite him to my school so he would teach simple Creole, just like that book.
Mm-hmm.
And he translated or he sang the national anthem, the pledge, and the prayer in Creole for me. So I had that on my email, and then I got Gregory Rabbits to transcribe it for me, so children could learn up to last school year. I had my children learning the national anthem in Creole because of that opportunity that my dad gave me.
Wow, this is so beautiful, Grace. And you're definitely keeping his memory alive through Niniput's beginner's guide and even through what you're doing with the students. And I do agree with you. I do believe that Creole should be spoken in this or should be taught in our schools. And I hope that whoever is out there looking can see and say, hey, this is something that needs to be put in the schools. um I'm just reading one of the comments. Beverly, who is actually an educator, she said that she actually went through the book and it's developmentally appropriate. So she feels that it is something that can definitely be incorporated into the school curriculum. So, Grace, where can we find the book if we want to purchase Niliput's Beginner's Guide?
Well, you can find the book at Jays and at Whitchurch, and you can also find it um, at the at the corner by Mamu's building. I'm
Mm-hmm.
there every day because there's no school, so I decide to sell my books. So you can get it at Jay's or you can get it at Whitchurch or you can call me 614-4323 and get your copy. I'm also I also put it on Amazon, but it's not yet officially done as yet. So very
Okay.
soon by the end of the week it should be done. And
Okay.
yeah. So we
What?
church Jay's or from me.
Grace, I'm so excited for this for you, as well as for all Dominicans, because I know there are a lot of Dominicans. My youngest son, is learning Creole because my aunt, she's insistent on teaching him, and he knows how to say his name. He knows how to say who is his mother. He knows how to say who's his father. She'll ask him questions in Creole, and he'll answer. And I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so impressed. Like my 5 year old is speaking Creole. And then you ask him, or you ask him, skip Saki, no, I say jazz.
Mhm.
Like he knows these things. So and and it's very exciting, and it's a very proud moment knowing that your kid can or your child can speak your mother tongue. And I know a lot of us are raising children who will probably never be able to speak Creole, and this is a great way to get them involved. I actually had have a cousin when she met her husband is from a different country, and he couldn't he wanted to learn what because when we didn't want him to understand, we'd talk all this Creole, so he didn't understand. And he visited Dominica one year, and he bought the Creole dictionary, and he sat down
Mm.
every time when we thought he was in the toilet, just doing his business, he was learning the words. He was learning so he could now he understands pretty much he understands a lot in Creole. So I think this beginner's guide is a great start. Can we expect of more follow-ups like
Oh, sure, definitely. I'm working on my next book, which will target the the um the elementary middle age children
Mhm.
the elementary children, like in grades 3, 4, and 5, to
Hmm.
actually learn the like a reading comprehension. I don't want to say too much because it's still in my head somewhere, but to have the reading of words like comprehension, watching pictures and answering in Creole. So that's
Hmm.
what I'm working on now. But I forgot to say that in Meaningful Beginner's Guide, the first part of the book is about my dad. So they will also learn about him, who he was, what was his achievement, and different stages of his life. You have pictures of him and other
Somebody told me I'm
memorabilia.
in the book.
Yes, you are. You are in the book. You are. Anytime you like.
Grace, you're not easy, Grace, to put me in your book. Oh my god.
Where are you? Right there.
Oh my god, the A team. Me and Miguel and Mystique, Major Mystique. I
Yes,
with your dad.
yes. That's the fans ambassadors.
Yes. This is lovely. This is a really, really nice street for all Dominicans. I want to encourage folks to support you, support the book, and hopefully, just like I said with Pink Agriculture, I hope that the books can be, because I think you guys are doing really wonderful, both you and Kalisa, you're doing really wonderful jobs with putting together these books, like this, like step by step. Like it's literally like a guide to help children
Yes.
learn Creole, and you can start it as easy as preschool. When they're in preschool, children learn languages so much quicker than adults,
From
right?
young age.
I wish I'd learned Spanish and French and every language when I was a child, because now to learn a language is bataille, right? And I learned Creole as a child, and it wasn't from my parents, it was my great grandmother who came to live with us who would only speak Creole, and that is how I learned Creole. No, you can't say nothing in front of me. I will understand and I can answer you too, right? And I just really want to encourage us, to continue to encourage or put pressure on the powers that be so that they can include the Creole
In the schools. Jail, I
me.
didn't get you stuck for a moment.
Any final words before we leave?
Oh, I just want to encourage everybody to buy the book. It's a good beginner's guide for your kids and even teenagers, anybody who wants to learn the language. It's very easy, simple in its simplest form. So people don't have to knock their heads too hard for that. But buy the book.
Buy the book. Thank you very much, Grace.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Nice being there. Okay,
You're
bye bye.
welcome anytime. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was um two wonderful ladies. I promise you, two wonderful ladies. I'm sorry, somebody tell me I stick. Are you guys seeing me now? I still stick. I unstick. Yes, Kendra said I will be buying. Great stuff. Make sure you guys support these women. I just want to run through the books that we featured here tonight. We had Pink Agriculture. We had I Was Broke Because, another a lovely children's book called Kai and the Pizza Cloudman, and these three books by author Callister Sango. And we had our Creole rendition tonight. That is, of course, Grace Henderson's book, which is a beginner's guide to the Creole language called Neniput Beginner's Guide. I want to say thank you very much to all those of you who came on and showed your support. I hope you guys shared the live. I hope you guys go out and purchase the books. I hope you support the ladies. I want to encourage both Grace and Callista to go underneath the live and see if anybody's asked any questions, so that you can answer, interact with people so that they can know where to get the books, because some people might miss, they might not know, somebody might be visiting in Dominic and not know where Jay's is or where Mamu's building is or whatever. So go on there, and so that they can have your information so that they can reach out to you whenever they need to. I want to say thank you very much to those of you who came on. Thank you very much for coming on. live and for the evening here with me. I will not be back for probably until I think about the 10th of August is my next show. If I have another show before that, I'll let you guys know. But a lot of stuff is going on. I also got to prepare for the new year. I'm teaching again in September, thank God. So I have to get ready for that. So I'm taking a little break, and then the 10th to the 12th, we have two shows. We might have another show after that. And then I take another break again before the school year starts. And then we'll roll back again when September comes around. So I want to say thank you very much to all those of you who came on the live, those of you who supported. Make sure you get a copy of one of the books. Support one of these, all of these ladies. As you can see, this program was not sponsored, right? And this is my way of giving back to my community. So it's not about making money for myself. It's about helping folks, to make some revenue off of stuff that they create. And I really appreciate what both Callister and Grace is doing. It takes a lot to create a book. I've been trying for the last 3 years to write a children's book. Every mobogo fini. So I know it takes a lot of dedication, and I want to say how proud I am to know them, and tell them to continue to do the great work. I can't wait for when Grace will come out with the other parts of the book, and I'm also looking forward to Callista's next book whenever she decides to read. But in the meantime, go show your support to every single one of them. Allison, don't you worry. You can always rewind once the program ends. You can go back. It's available on YouTube if you want to check it out on YouTube. If you want to check it out on LinkedIn, it's on Twitter. It's right here on Facebook. Thanks again, those of you who joined me in social media land. We'll be back another day. So see you guys soon. Have a good evening. Bye bye.